What's going on, YouTubers? Welcome to another mini collection line tour. This is actually the last one. We've covered everything in this entire collection, but we've saved Dragon Ball Z DBZ for the last because this one likely will take the longest. But if you've followed my channel, you know I'm a huge Dragon Ball Z fan. I've been collecting DBZ ever since the beginning. This is what really got me into collecting this in Mortal Kombat. Now, my DBZ collection has changed dramatically over the years. I used to have a ton more pieces, a lot of older ones, a lot of defunct Shung ones, customs, and I sold a lot of them. And I focused really just on, I really had to trim it down because I was just taking up too much. I had them all over the floor. And I still am collecting DBZ, of course. I got multiple statues on pre-order, which I'll talk about. But it really begins right here. This is where DBZ begins, from video games left to DBZ. Now, I only have actually one statue in this that's final. Everything else, I'm waiting for it to arrive. So we have the MRC Vegeta life-size bust. This is a monstrous piece, probably my biggest DBZ piece, this and Broly. But I love this piece. It's freaking huge and incredible presence and detail. The only flaw is you have to display the scouter, otherwise you'll see the inner ear. I hate that. I wish I could have the Super Saiyan head, to be honest. But I love the base design. It's amazing. I love the nameplate. I love the skin texture, the armor texture, the paint job. It's just a solid piece, very anime accurate outside of the scouter, and it just looks amazing. Now, the plan is I'll be getting the MRC Trunks bust where that is. That is sold. It's on payment plan. But I'll put Trunks right there, and he'll be just as big as Vegeta. He's 35 inches tall. So he'll be monstrously big, and he'll look beautiful there next to Vegeta, father and son. And then underneath, we'll be doing the MRC 1/4 versions. So the 1/4 Trunks, the 1/4 Vegeta, which they're making, which resembled the life-size that this was modeled after. And the Trunks as well from the life-size Trunks. So that's what will go there and there. And then underneath, I'll be getting KD Collectibles, Namek Goku. That'll go right there. And then I was thinking about getting their Bardock statue to go right there for father and son. Plus, Bardock goes hand in hand with Trunks from the movies, the dual movie set I got right here. Now, normally I wouldn't, I've had a Bardock statue in the past. It was like a garbage older one. I sold it a long time ago. But KD did a fantastic job on their Bardock. If I had the Tsume Bardock, I wouldn't, bother with it. But Tsume is way too expensive since it was an event exclusive. So I'll probably end up getting KD's. I haven't pre-ordered it just yet, but I'll likely be buying that. Then where DBZ begins after this for me is over here in the Saiyan saga. Now, I like to display everything in terms of how it actually happened in the anime. I don't like doing it randomly. I hate that. I don't display a Boo statue next to a Frieza statue when it comes to my 1/6 dioramas. I want to do it in order. So if you look at this real quickly, you start out where it began, then it goes in order of how it happened, and then that. And then we have some more statues we'll be getting here. And then it starts out Frieza, all in order. If you look at how I do this. And then, boom, all the way to the very end. 1/4 is a little bit different. I have a different vision for that. But for the 1/6, I really focus on dioramas, not single pieces. I have very few single pieces. I like 1/6 for the dioramas, recreating epic moments in Dragon Ball Z. Since it's such a action-oriented show, I really wanted to showcase that in the dioramas. For single characters, I only have Frieza. That's still Frieza and Goku. Everything else is more or less like a diorama here, per se. But for the single characters, I let that be the 1/4 scales. So first we have the MRC Special Beam Cannon, and this is one of the best DBZ 1/6 scale statues. It's freaking huge. This is inside a Besta, and it sticks out a good 4.5, 5 inches. So monstrously big base, but very beautiful. Love the colors. There's even like snowy mountains in the back. There's the little pod, that Gohan who's knocked unconscious. So there's 4 full 1/6 scale characters. Piccolo looks fantastic. Shooting the special beam through Raditz and Goku. See the eyes, the way they did that, like he's just been killed. And it does have a light up. I don't have it plugged in. It's generally pretty weak, so I don't use it. But this is a huge diorama piece. This thing's like 30 inches wide at least. So it's very, very big. Generally like a top shelf type of statue, and it's really incredible. So colorful. The special beam looks awesome. MRC killed it on this. Definitely one of those pieces I always wanted since the beginning of collecting. I always wanted this scene just because it's such a, you know, amazing scene that really changed the game. This is just a placeholder. It's not final. I'll be getting a different Saiyan Saga statue here, but this is the figure arts. I actually really like these two. They're awesome, but they are Saiyan Saga oriented, so I put them there. This is the Tsume 1/6 line. Now, I'd love to actually have their 1/6 Bardock right there, but, you know, I don't got it. But this 1/6 line is some of the absolute best DBZ statues out there. I love how I have them all lined up next to each other. First, you have Krillin, and he's actually my favorite DBZ 1/6. Even though Krillin's not even close to my favorite character, as a statue, this is the best for multiple reasons. The light up is super sick. I don't have it plugged in, but the way he's attacking and killing 4 different Saibamen. This one, he just barely missed him with this attack, but then he exploded and killed these 3, which is just insanely cool. You know, Tsume absolutely knocked it out of the park. I love this overall look of it. And the texture and detail in Krillin is so well done. I love their clean bases, just the black with the glossy middle, and then the logos look super fine. It's just a super classy, amazing statue. They give you these metal COAs, which look fantastic. Piccolo was their first public released one outside of Bardock. So he released quite a long time ago, but he does look fantastic. Very good paint job, great sculpt. You know, this is a scene where Nappa killed him. He was saving to protect Gohan. It's really the game changer for Piccolo becoming a good guy from a villain. But you can see Gohan there. So that looks fantastic. Really, really nicely done. And then you actually have the Nappa versus Goku. This is a statue I always wanted in statue form. There was like a garage kit. I almost bought it multiple times. I'm glad I didn't, because this one's a million times better. This has the best 1/6 scale Goku sculpt out there. Absolutely amazing. I love the texture work on this. So, so well done. Nappa looks freaking beastly and huge. Just a super dynamic, cool looking piece. These are definitely some of the best quality DBZ out there. You know, everything else outside of this is going to be custom, unlicensed, from various studios. They're still very good. They're also about half the cost of these. You know, then you have the MRC Goku versus Vegeta. This is one I'll eventually sell. If I need money, I would, you know, I'd sell it. Like, if I really need money for something, I'd just sell it. 'Cause I'm going to be getting the Tsume Goku versus Vegeta. And so this will eventually go. But this is one of the better DBZ 1/6 unlicensed, no doubt. I just can't justify having 2 of the same scene. Even if it's different poses, this is the charging up, Tsume's the actual shooting. I absolutely love this Vegeta sculpt. It is freaking amazing. They, you know, painted the veins. The pose is so iconic, doing his Gallic gun. You even have a little Yajirobe. This doesn't have enough special effects like the Tsume does, so I sort of added this fire. You know, there's like figure art fire effects. I still absolutely love that statue to death. It's freaking amazing. But Tsume definitely will be king. The way they did the special effects and aura, you know, it will become the best DBZ 1/6. I think it'll top Krillin. And this is going to be huge. It's going to take up at least that much space. So I'll have enough space right there for one additional statue, the PBR Goku vs. Vegeta. So this is one where they're just fighting, not doing this, you know, final attacks. And I wanted a statue like that just because it was the first really big fight, you know, outside of the Raditz, but really big one of the saga. And, you know, Vegeta is my favorite character of all time, not just DBZ, but of all time. He's #1. So I wanted to have 2 statues from that iconic fight, their first fight. And so I did order PBR. That's shipped a few weeks ago. It should arrive probably in the next 2 to 3 weeks. So really looking forward to that. I think they did a really good job on that statue. They've done a few statues before and they all looked awesome. So really looking forward to that. This is my entire Saiyan Saga setup, not going beyond this. If I can fit it in here, it's going here. But, you know, the only additional spot I really have is that. And I'm eyeballing Shogun Studios, Goku and Nappa potentially. I think that could look really good down there. Or if there's another Saiyan Saga diorama done by like Tsume, you know, I do have this space. So I'm not in a hurry, but I want to get something that I won't ever want to sell in the future to get something different. You know, like I would never sell any of these. But yeah, that's the Saiyan Saga. Then we come to the main DBZ-16 display, which is comprised of Frieza, androids, Cell, Boo. And I do have posters above to really represent all three. And it's even color-coded, you know, Frieza being the purple, Cell being green. Very cool looking wall scrolls, and then Boo being blue. I really like these, you know, and even Saiyan Saga being bluish. I really like these wall scrolls. Like I'm on Amazon and they're just fantastic. You know, I keep it simple, but just like the boom, 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 boom. I love it. Just simple artwork, but they look really good and tell a story. So my main focus here was dioramas, VKH. They're the go-to for my 1/6 DBZ. Ever since I got into DBZ collecting, I loved VKH. I love the, you know, colors, the vibrant colors, the great sculpts. Their price point was just the best. It was always best bang for your buck. You know, they've been relatively inactive the last year and a half, to be honest. It's kind of a shame. I know they are making more statues. They've just been having some struggles. But VKH is still alive, trust me. They will make more statues. It's just complicated. But for the most part, my DBZ-16 is complete when it comes to these three. The only thing I'd ever consider is selling one to get a different one I liked more. And I potentially could squeeze those together to fit another statue up there. I've thought about that. I could even angle Boo differently, but I don't want it to look cluttered too much, you know, so I probably will just keep it as is. The only thing I'm missing is Vegito, so I thought about getting the Exceed Vegito, but something was off about that sculpt, and I know I'd get it and probably be like, that sculpt is off. And if a sculpt is off, it really does bug me. So to start, we got the VKH Frieza Form 1. Love this statue. Comes with all the Dragon Balls. So I puttied that top one down so it doesn't move when I dust. And then these one are on like a little Chinese ball display, puttied down as well. So when I dust this, it does not move. Because before, when I just had them like, you know, balanced there, they would always move and it annoyed me. So I had to use putty and those stands, and now it looks great. Those are glow in the dark as well. Then you have Form 2, Nin Gohan in the face. I originally got this damaged, and the VKH owner, Kenneth Ho, I reached out to him because we're good friends, and hey, I got this damaged, could you help me? And he just sent me a complete replacement of the statue, like outside the base. So super cool guy, and he did the same thing for this one as well, because when I originally got these two, and that one, they all arrived broken. All of them were broken. But he helped me get replacements for all three, so now all mint. You know, this one was super damaged. Luckily, it's mint now. Form 3, shooting his little beams at Piccolo. And this is a piece from my Kung Lao that's supposed to be like a hat slice, and I just put it there like it's a beamy shooting. Really cool looking. This one's, they do connect, but obviously I can't fit them all in one detolf. And this entire VKH diorama does connect together actually. And it looks super epic when done, but it does require a hefty amount of space. So I keep it all to the detolf. Then you have Transcendent Studios Frieza versus Vegeta. I always wanted a good Vegeta statue from, you know, Frieza Saga. And I wanted a Frieza whooping on everyone because Frieza's like a, you know, the ultimate villain. And so if you notice in all these, he's beating him up, beating Goku, and killing Vegeta. So Frieza is my favorite villain. I love Frieza. Transcendent Studios did an awesome job in this diorama. Just solid looking piece. Love it. Then you have the Frieza Elbow Goku. Fantastic piece. And then you have Goku finally going Super Saiyan. Boom. I love this piece by XC. They absolutely killed it. It's really just the Medicos Goku recasted in resin with a new base. But it's such a solid sculpt, and they did a really good job on the paint job, so I love it. Now, on the Medicos, it's garbage compared to this. Then you have the VKH Goku Elbow Frieza, and I love how he did this, and they actually connect, believe it or not, which is really cool. Solid sculpt. He has done a rerun of this where it has a black underbase, but that would even fit in the D12, so I'm happy with my original run. This was my first VKH statue, Trunks vs. Mecha Frieza. This still has to date one of my favorite sculpt Trunks, like his face sculpt. I just love it. I love it. It's such an amazing scene. Now this little Capsule Corp and Bulma holding a baby Trunks, it just goes quite well right there. That's a resin thing I got off like Taobao a long time ago. KD Vegeta vs. Android 19. This is a fantastic piece, although the Vegeta face sculpt is totally off. But luckily the way you look at the diorama, you can't really tell too much. My other head with the longer hair actually broke during the earthquake, so I just display this one now. But this is an awesome looking statue, super dynamic. Love the way he's like lunging off him, super cool. And it looks great here next to Trunks. You know, Vegeta's first time on Super Saiyan was super epic for me. Then you have the androids, and these all connect as well. They form a giant diorama, and I have made videos of this. If you search my channel from years ago, like VKH all dioramas, you will find where I had them all connected on my floor upstairs, which is really cool. Just such a space hog. This was one of the earlier ones I bought once I found VKH. I actually bought the entire androids. Like I spent like $5 the moment I met that guy. Here's a little Kame House resin. This Vegeta one's awesome though. Really good sculpt and paint on this. Very dynamic. I love how it's like flying. Then Android 16. This is probably his best moment in the entire series where he was actually fighting and pretty powerful. This normally has a lot of these coming out and a really cool light up, but to get it to fit here, I actually just used putty on those and did it like this, which looks great. And I use a display riser to help so it doesn't block him, since I had the height space. There's a reason I do that display riser, so it doesn't block Frieza. And then the final member, Android 17, Punching Piccolo, arguably one of the best fights of the, Android saga. Very cool. This is very anime accurate, where he punched him and his arm was like going through. So very anime accurate if you watch the series. So very cool. Then we come to the Cell Form 1, and this actually can form, there's an extra base it comes with for that, and it can be like a very long statue. But I display it like this, all forms from larva to an egg to this little guy, and then full cell. Fantastic statue. Very cool. Then Form 2, him shooting his Ki Blast, flying with the stick up the butt. And then this has this little android scene with the ball. And he actually made this after the fact. Like, he made the statue and it was just supposed to be that and the ball. That was it. And then the fans were saying they wanted something else, and so he added that. Believe it or not, with this one, when I got it, I accidentally broke my tail. Kenneth Ho shipped me a new tail, which was awesome. And it broke again during the cocksucking earthquake. I'm like, this tail always breaks on me. Because of the way it's angled, it's very close to the door. So when the earthquake happened, it hit the door and broke. These are made of PU resin, which is still very delicate. So it's like if I went to flick it, it'd break. And then you have this one, Vegeta vs. Cell. I don't Form 2 that he did, but I still like Form 1 better. I just think it looks better. Plus that one was a little out of scale. This is a statue I always wanted since the moment I saw it. And it will stay with me until the day I die. I love it. So freaking epic. When he first became Super Vegeta and punched him in the stomach, that was one of the most epic moments. And then Gohan uppercutting Cell. Very cool. And these two do connect, and they also connect to those as well. So I love how he does that. So cool. And then he made Cell doing Kamehameha, and I was so happy when I saw this. It actually happened right around my birthday, I remember. And And I was like, oh my gosh, Cell Kamehameha, because I had this one and I always wanted to do this type of scene of the final, blast. I would love to get this redone, but in that style, where it had a giant energy ball in the middle that lit up. And I mean, granted, I couldn't fit it in here, but I would love to have that type of statue. I think it'd be so epic. But I make do with what I got, and I still absolutely love these. The sculpts are fantastic. This is by Defeng Sheng, who, in general, I hate him and his statues, but this is one of his best statues he's ever made. I believe that's the only Defeng Sheng I actually have in here is that one. Yeah, I've sold every single Defeng Sheng statue I've owned. That's the only good one he's actually done. Everything else, very meh. And he's a terrible seller, so I do not recommend him. Then you have MRC Saiyans. So you have all 5 Saiyans in one diorama, which is awesome. So it's like the only Vegeta that's non-Majin from Buu Saga. And then both the kids in Super Saiyan and Gohan when he's, in his typical costume pre-tournament. So very, very cool. Love seeing that. And then this is one that really was like one I wanted so bad when I first got into collecting. I was so happy when I finally got it. Goku versus Majin Vegeta. Such an epic scene. And I love the pose. I love the sculpt. Just looks amazing. Now, I did own the second version as well, which was very, very cool. Very, very cool. The only thing I didn't like was the clouds were shiny for some reason, which was a little weird. I wish they weren't shiny. I wish they were your more typical, clouds, or even like the translucent clouds would have looked better. But I did sell that just because I needed space and I needed the money, and it sold for a higher price tag than this, and I still think I like this one more. Then we have Go Tanks. I actually really like this statue quite a bit. It's a very non-traditional statue. You got this little Piccolo with the, Kami Tower, and then Buu with this ball. You can see Buu there, or you can take this and actually just cover it so it looks like the ball. But fantastic looking piece, and Go Tanks is done incredibly well done. So that's everything inside all the details. Then you come onto the top shelf. This is another KD Collectibles product, Gohan versus Deborah. A near perfect statue except for a few things. One, it's missing a DBZ logo. He made an additional one, but never shipped it to me, even though he said he would. So that pissed me off. The cape, the sculpt is too textured. It's like too fine. And his skin tone is too light red. It needs to be a darker red to be anime accurate. Other than that, it's fantastic. I do like the texture work on him himself. I wish his cape was just a little bit less textured. If they did it like that texture, it would be much better. And then a darker paint job. But this is a massive piece, definitely top shelf. That cape takes up a lot of space. Kind of wish they didn't make it so high. I don't know. I mean, it's really cool, but it also makes it displaying it very difficult. But I've always wanted a Deborah statue, and this is the only one in the market. So I still love this statue. It's very, very cool. It's just not perfect. This is one that I was beyond excited to get when I first saw it by VKH. Vegeta versus Buu. Doing his little, two-fingered blast. And the blast is actually shooting through Blue as a penis head. You got little Go Tanks and Trunks right there cheering him on. I added a little bobbity. And need to fix this. Yeah, freaking. Yeah, get that like that. It fell down when I was dusting. This Vegeta's fantastic, though. Very, very cool. Buu looks great. Yeah, you look at the texture work on that cape, it's just simple, but it looks better. It's just shaded, where this one has that extreme texture, where it's just too much. It takes away the attention. Where this one's just simple, but looks better. With me, with 1/6 DBZ, I don't think extreme texture is honestly needed. I mean, Tsume does a great job where it doesn't look overdone, but I don't think it's an absolute necessity to have extreme texture work. I got this Deborah cookie. This came with a little like Buu figure I got. I don't even display that Buu figure. I hate it, but I like the cookie, so I keep that. This is KD's first product, Vegeta Sacrifice, a statue I always wanted, and they delivered an awesome job on this statue, so of course I had to get it. This one does have a really cool light up feature. Likeness is definitely off. But it is a fantastic piece. I think the costume is also too dark a blue. But overall, it's an absolutely amazing piece. They just need to resculpt the face and even his chest area. I don't know. It's definitely not 100% Vegeta. KD does that more realistic take. Then you have Gohan versus Super Buu. Freaking amazing statue. You know, right when he punched him in the face, he has that little goo in his mouth. I love the way his eyes are protruding. Very, very cool piece. And that was one of the best moments when Gohan fought, when he punched him in the face like that. Or more or less like backhand hit him. Then Goku versus Buu. Still to date my favorite Goku versus Buu in 1/6 form. Love the flowing hair. The paint job is fantastic. Buu looks awesome. It, you know, just feels like they're in a mid-fight scene in midair with tons of energy everywhere. Just awesome. Yeah, so that's my 1/6 collection. Then we go to 1/4. So this is still a big work in progress. So I got this. A few of these pieces are being sold. The rest I'm keeping. This is one I'm keeping for sure. I love this. Mirai Gohan. Mirai Studios is the name. Gohan Super Saiyan 2 versus Cell Jr. This is another one where he's, you know, basically killing them. So as you can see, it's very hard to see this because that Piccolo is so freaking tall. So I'm actually selling that Piccolo to get KD Piccolo, which is much shorter, like 5 inches shorter. So as soon as I sell that off, I'll lower the shelf like 4 inches to give that more proper height space so I can see it better. And then KD Piccolo will go there and he'll fit perfect in that stuva. But I love this Gohan. It's not perfect, but I freaking love it. I love how he's kicking the face off of Cell Jr. That one, so freaking cool. Then here's the Piccolo. Like I said, I'm selling this. I already have a buyer for it. But this is BE Piccolo. Massive statue, 30 inches tall, freaking huge. It's more of a top shelf statue. It's just I don't have space top shelf. So that's really why I'm selling it. I used to have it top shelf and it looks amazing. But the way my collection direction is going, I just can't display it high up. You know, because this is my vision. And I think it's perfect. I don't want to change that ever. You know, so you have Dragon Fist, the original holy grail of statues for me. The one where when I saw it, I pissed my pants. I was like, holy crap, Dragon Fist. I freaking love this statue to death. It was the first extreme textured, you know, like textured pants, textured skin. It really set the stage for DBZ. It's, you know, I still don't think there's an unlicensed that's much better than this. I mean, I would say that one and that one are the two best, both by Exceed. But this is a fantastic piece. Huge, incredible presence. It's just an absolute grail. Then we got my most recent acquisition, the J-Ross Goku bust, which you can see is the exact same pose as that, and I purposely did that. Still waiting on my COA, by the way. But this is an absolutely amazing bust, perfect sculpt, amazing paint job. You know, I love having a life-size Goku in my collection. It's just awesome. And it looks really good next to Super Saiyan 3 and then Super Saiyan 2 Goku right there. You know, the Exceed or F4, if you want to call it, diorama. And I purposely did it like this to have that poster of them fighting and then the faces like that. So that's the reason I did that. And then I got props on each side. The 4-star Dragon Ball and then the Dragon Radar made by Vegeta's wife, Bulma. This piece is currently my favorite unlicensed for a few reasons. The base, freaking amazing. Love the underbase, that giant Majin symbol, the clouds, the giant electricity effects. This has extreme texture, amazing paint and sculpt. You know, it looks just like them. Huge piece, you know, this thing is freaking huge. But it's definitely a centerpiece, as you can see, because it's just so massive. You know, it's like even bigger than Dragon Fist, which is insane. Then you have the Holy Grail Majin Vegeta life-size bust by J-Ross, limited to 50 worldwide, and I got number 10 for both Vegeta and Goku. Vegeta, this thing goes for like $3,500 nowadays. So it is from one of the most iconic scenes in Buu Saga when he's at the tournament and he key blasted, you know, the people and killed them to really prove how evil he is, and he lifted his chin and it played that iconic Vegeta music. So epic. So absolutely love this piece. Then you have Tsume Vegeta, the ultimate Vegeta Grail. So this piece is absolutely grail. You know, I've said it so many times, and I'll say it a million more. It's one of the best statues ever made. KD Vegeta can't touch it. I don't care what anyone says. It cannot touch it. The light up, the sound effect, the sculpt, the paint job. That's the thing you gotta understand. I know KD has a good paint job, but it does not have Tsume good. It does not have where it does this yellow orish effect on it that I freaking love. The boots, the costume, the base, nothing beats it and nothing ever will. The only thing that might come close is Prime 1 Vegeta, which I will be getting. But that's, you know, Saiyan armor Vegeta, so you can't really compare the two. No, this is Buu Saga. Then we have Trunks, UC Studio Trunks. Originally I was doing Gohan here, the F4 Gohan, but that thing is just so freaking big. It stuck out like 5 inches. It was overscaled, and it just, I don't know. I hate when something sticks out a ton in a certain situation. So I ended up selling that because I like Trunks more than Gohan. So I'm keeping this Trunks, and I wanted to do it like this as well, where I have Gohan with his father, which will be Prime 1 Goku, Prime 1 Vegeta with his son Trunks. So that's the plan. I still love this Trunks though. Even though it's older, I still love it. And I think it's still the best conceptually made Trunks out there. Yeah, so that's the plan here, where we're doing like all Goku and all Vegeta and their sons. And on the bottom shelf is where I'm more or less doing villains. So we'll be having Piccolo, who was an original villain. And then we'll be getting Reborn Studios Frieza, Transcendent Studios Androids, and then we have Cell and Buu and Broly. So it's going to look epic having all villains lined up. So here's KD Cell, their first 1/4. This statue was plagued with lots of issues, leaning, breakages. Mine originally arrived broken. You know, such a hassle to get a replacement. And my original one also was leaning, and it had a broken leg, and the base was broken. Luckily, this one's now pretty much mint for the most part. It's not perfect. One of the wings was damaged, and the new wings wouldn't fit on the, but this one's still really, really nice statue. I love it. It's just a tad underscaled, I'll say. And then you have Buu, very simple statue, but still looks awesome by KD. This one does not have extreme texture, has a cookie base, giant clouds, but it's very, very cool. Got some figure art zeros. These are okay, nothing special, but they're cool. Then you have the holy grail of all Dragon Ball Z statues, Tsume Broly. This is the best DBZ statue, one of the best 1/4 scale statues to date, actually. Probably the best 1/4. I'm trying to think. Well, this and Golden, I'd have to, it's hard to say which one's truly better. Broly's an absolute DBZ grail, though. Just incredible skin texture, vein work. The fact he's holding an entire 1/4 Goku is just insane. And they just knocked out the park with this. See, their texture work is just perfect. Their shading is so well done. Massive base, very, very heavy. Comes with these really nice metal COAs as well. Very, very cool piece. Now, normally, if YouTube would allow me to monetize it and play music, I'd be playing DBZ music for you guys. But, I can't monetize a video and play music. It won't allow me. So otherwise, I'd say, tell my Alexa to turn on DBZ sound and lights and all that jazz for you. But anyways, Alexa, turn on DBZ statue lights. So yeah, I can do that and turn on the sound and light up effect here. Light up. Plug must be a little loose on that, but that's supposed to light up as well. Anyways, folks, Alexa, stop DBZ statue lights. Anyways, folks, that is it. So DBZ still work in progress. Got more coming in. We should be getting PBR Goku vs. Vegeta here soon. And then after that, we're probably looking at Transcendent Studios and Frieza. And then Trunks Boss, Trunks 1/4, Vegeta 1/4, KD Goku, Prime 1 Goku, Prime 1 Vegeta. And then we finish it off with Prime 1 Vegeta. Unless Prime 1 Frieza blows me away and it fits under there. Then I'd consider it. If it doesn't fit there, can't get it. Anyways, folks, that is it. Let me know your thoughts and comments below. Like, comment, subscribe. Have a great day.